to Knowledge of Self-Determination. Back with part 2 of February 25th, Black History Every Day topic. And just a reminder, this topic is February 25th, 1994. Welterweight boxing champion Jersey Joe Walcott dies in Ohio. Now, just a little bit info before I get into it. Jersey Joe Walcott was the oldest man at 37. I forget what year it was, but I'll get into it once I start giving you information on this man's life. He was the oldest man to win a heavyweight title at 37 at the time. Now, George Foreman broke that record at the age of 45 in 1994, the same year that Jersey Joe Walcott died. So I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit on George Foreman breaking that record. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. Arnold Raymond Cream, best known as Jersey Joe Walcott, was an American professional boxer who competed from 1930 to 1953. He held the world heavyweight title from 1951 to 1952 and broke the record for the oldest man to win the title at age 37, like I said. That record would eventually be broken in 1994 by 45-year-old George Foreman. After retiring from boxing, Walcott did some acting, playing small parts in a few movies and television shows. He also refereed several boxing matches, but after the controversial ending to the second fight between Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston, Walcott was not asked to referee again. From 1971 to 1974, Walcott had the elected position of Camden County, New Jersey Sheriff, the first African American to do so. From 1975 to 1984, he was the chairman of the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. Walcott was born in Pennsauken, I hope I'm saying that right, New Jersey. His father was an immigrant from St. Thomas, Danish West Indies. His mother was from Jordantown, New Jersey. Walcott was only 15 years old when his father died. He quit school and worked in a soup factory to support his mother and 11 younger brothers and sisters. He also began training as a boxer. He took the name of his boxing idol, Joe Walcott, a welterweight champion from Barbados. He added Jersey to distinguish himself and show where he was from. He debuted He debuted as a professional boxer on September 9th, 1930, fighting Cowboy Wallace and winning by a knockout in round 1. After 5 straight knockout wins in 1933, he lost for the first time, beaten on points by Henry Wilson in Philadelphia. And just to quickly add, Jersey Joe was born in January 31st, 1914, just to add that in. Jersey Joe Walcott, one of the sport's genuine all-time greats and arguably most underrated talents, was certainly involved in his share of boxing history. He was the unconscious recipient of what is widely considered the most devastating knockout punch ever thrown, courtesy of Rocky Marciano in 1952. He played an infamous role in the Phantom Punch controversy of Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston II, in 1965. Walcott was the referee on that fateful night, a bumbling performance that ranks right up there with the recent work of Joe Cortez. Okay. Now, of course, the article I'm reading from is old because Joe Cortez is actually retired. So he must be talking about, this article must be referring to the Victor Ortiz and Floyd Mayweather fight, which, in all honesty, Joe Cortez told them to box. Joe Cortez turned around because I guess he was getting instructions from outside of the ring, but Joe Cortez gave them instructions to box. So if Victor Ortiz got whacked with that straight right to the chin and got popped and got sat down on his butt by a left hook, he should have been paying more attention and protecting himself at all times. So anyway, just to let you know, I don't agree with that because I don't think Joe Cortez messed up in that instance. They had shook hands, they had apologized. Victor Ortiz had been penalized a point. They met back in the center of the ring. Joe Cortez said box. He turned away from the action, which he shouldn't have done, but he told him to box. So what Floyd did was legal. That's why it wasn't contested. That's why it wasn't contested by the Athletic Commission and none of that. It wasn't later dumbed down to a no contest because it was legal because the referee said box. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. Sorry for that. And Jersey's classic four-fight series with Ezra Charles, 1949-1952, will never be forgotten. But to capture the essence of Walcott, the man and the fighter, you have to check out his electric performance in 1947 against then heavyweight champion Joe Louis. It's important to note the backdrop of this championship fight. This was post-World War II Louis, not the prime beast of 1938-1942, who had obliterated every one of his challengers in an unrivaled stretch of divisional dominance. He officially returned in 1946 after more than 4 years out of the ring to face former foe Billy Conn. The rematch to their classic battle of 1941 was as uninteresting and vapid as the first fight had been phenomenal, as Louis rather routinely knocked out the much smaller man. He followed that up with a first round drubbing of unworthy contender Tammy Moriello. Louis then took a year off, flirted with retirement, and later returned to face his next slated challenger, Walcott, on December 5th, 1947. Walcott was also known as the fighter who knocked down Joe Louis 3 times. Indeed, many fight fans thought Walcott beat Louis in a match on December 5th, 1947 at Madison Square Garden when he knocked down Louis twice, but Louis got up to hold on for a 15-round split decision. Even Louis seemed surprised by the verdict, at first starting to leave the ring apparently thinking he had lost. Then, after the decision was announced, Louis went over to Walcott's corner and said, quote unquote, "Joe, I'm sorry." Walcott and his supporters sought to have the decision reversed a week later in an appeal to the New York State Athletic Commission, but it stood. And there was and about that controversy, there was who was it? Trying to remember. Where's the guy's name? I can't remember his name, but there was a boxing reporter who had Rudy Goldstein. Wait, blah blah blah. Yeah, he was a referee. Rudy Goldstein actually championed the idea that Jersey Joe actually won that fight. He was actually an advocate for Jersey Joe winning that fight, and in fact, and I'm gonna read this. Louis went into seclusion for a couple of days after the fight, then quieted the scent with the following quote: "I know Rudy. He calls them as he sees them, and that should be good enough for anybody." End quote. So Joe Louis wasn't contesting that he lost, like I just read. He was actually saying, he went over to Jersey Joe and actually said, I'm sorry, because they gave him a decision because he knew he felt like he lost and everybody else felt like he lost too. Anyway, moving along. On December 5th, 1947, he fought Joe Louis at 33 years of age, breaking the record as the oldest man to fight for the world heavyweight title. Despite dropping Louis in round 1 and again in round 4, he lost his decision. Yeah, we already know that. Most ringside observers and boxing writers thought Walcott deserved to win. A debate ensued, and sports writers carried the topic throughout America. The lone official to vote for Walcott, referee Rudy Goldstein, was cast as a hero. Letters and telegrams poured into the Goldstein household, praising his judgment. There was talk of an investigation being assembled for rule revisions in judging. Louis went into seclusion for a couple of days, which I've already read to you guys. What controversy remained was the kind that builds the gate, and Jersey Joe was rightfully granted a rematch on June 25th, 1948. Though dropped again, this time in the third, Louis prevailed by a knockout in round 11. Jersey Joe Walcott became the heavyweight champion of the world with a 7th round knockout of Ezra Charles on July 18, 1951. It was his 5th attempt at the title. At the age of 37, Walcott became the oldest boxer to win the World Heavyweight Championship, a record that would stand until George Foreman regained the title at age 45 in 1994. Walcott's title-winning effort against Ezzard Charles was named the Ring Fight of the Year for 1951. Also in 1951, Walcott was the winner of the Edward J. Neal Trophy, presented to the Fighter of the Year by the Boxing Writers Association of America. Walcott lost the title to Rocky Marciano on September 23, 1952. Behind on points, Marciano knocked out Walcott with a devastating right in the 13th round. It was named the Ring Fight of the Year for 1952. Walcott was inducted into the Ring Boxing Hall of Fame in 1969, the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1983, gee, why'd it take so long, and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990, gee, why'd that take even longer? After his boxing career, Walcott worked as a referee. His most famous and infamous assignment was the controversial Muhammad Ali-Sonny Liston rematch in Lewiston, Maine on May 25th, 1965. And as I said, he was never asked to referee again after that quote-unquote debacle. In 1971, Walcott was elected sheriff of Camden County, New Jersey. He was the first African American to hold the job. Walcott served as the head of the New Jersey State Boxing Commission from 1975 to 1984. He stepped down at the mandatory retirement age of 70. So the man is history. I mean, this man has made history. Famous boxer, a life in politics as a sheriff. He was an actor. He played in a couple of films. This man had a very full life. Walcott did not go away from the celebrity scene after boxing. In 1956, as I was just stating, he co-starred in Humphrey Bogart and Max Baer, or with Humphrey Bogart and Max Baer in the boxing drama The Harder They Fall. In 1963, he tried professional wrestling, losing to Lou Thesz, I believe that says. Thesz pinned Walcott in the 5th round, but has stated that Walcott knocked him down and most likely out in that 5th round. As he fell to the floor, he relied on instinct, grabbing Walcott's knees, taking him down with him, and stretching him out for the pin. In 1965, Walcott refereed the controversial heavyweight championship rematch between Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston. Walcott lost the count as Ali circled around a floored Liston and Walcott tried to get him back into a neutral corner. Then Walcott looked outside the ring, presumably to the ringside count keeper. As Ali and Liston went at each other before Walcott instructed them to keep on fighting, then Walcott approached the fighters and abruptly stopped the fight. Walcott was never again appointed as a referee after this bout. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I haven't seen that fight actually. I haven't watched the Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston 2 with Jersey Joe refereeing that fight. At least not to my recollection, because I've watched so many fights over the years that I couldn't even recall whether I watched that fight or not, or recall the debacle of him actually calling the fight off. I don't know. I mean, hey, who am I to say what he did was wrong or right? But these two guys weren't listening, they weren't following the rules. Now, penalizing them with points, that's probably what would happen now. Penalizing both, taking the point away from them, which could alter the scorecards dramatically if you lose a point. But anyway, who knows? It's the past. It's not even that important anymore. Excuse me. Now, after retiring, Walcott worked for the Camden County Corrections Department. In 1968, he ran for sheriff of Camden County, but lost the Democratic primary to Spencer H. Smith Jr. That same year, he was named Director of Community Relations for Camden. In 1971, he ran again for Camden County Sheriff. He defeated Republican William Strang, I believe, in the general election. He was the first African American to serve as sheriff in Camden County. He served as chairman of the New Jersey State Athletic Commission from 1975 until 1984, when he stepped down, blah, 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 as I said, the mandatory age of 17.